In this video, I want to show you how to avoid this very common beginner day trader mistake. But in order for me to do so, I first want to show you a little bit of a magic trick here and show you that I'm actually a prophet. I can see into the future. So what I'm telling you right now is that when that clock hits 2 p.m. Eastern time, what you see over here is going to get very, very crazy. So we still have about 9 minutes, but I'm telling you right now, I can see the future. Now, there's no gimmicks going on. There's no editing going on, nothing like that. And also as a spoiler, I am going to show you how I perform this magic trick. That way you can do the same thing, which will ultimately allow you to avoid this mistake. But in order to best set up the context, let me prove to you that I have the ability to look into the future before things happen. So at 2 o'clock, like I said, that chart right there is going to get crazy. And by being able to perform this magic trick, it's going to help you be able to avoid this very common problem that many beginner day traders make. So I will pause the video for now. And when that countdown ticker gets right up to 2 o'clock, I'll get the video rolling. We're within 3 minutes. I may not be exactly at 2 p.m. right on the dot. So I'm going to just I'm not going to have the video go on, but just realize that really anytime now things could get really pretty crazy. Actually, as I talk now, you can start to see that candle start to form. Things are starting to go up. So again, there we go. See, sometimes they can start a little bit early, but right around 2 p.m. And at 2 p.m. right on the dot, what you're seeing again over here, depending on how new you are and how much of a beginner, these are called candlesticks. So you can already see that this candlestick is starting to look quite a bit different compared to the other ones. But interesting, huh? Interesting. We're getting closer to 2 p.m. and then all of a sudden, just like that, things are really starting to wake up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause again. Now, if this candle continues to get crazy, I'll get the video rolling, but I will definitely have it rolling right as we head into that 2 o'clock time. Okay, well, you can see here, still got 2 minutes left, but look at this starting to come to life already. Look at that. And we're not even at 2 o'clock now. So when 2 o'clock strikes, then I'll be that much more interested to see how this all behaves. But notice how things are getting pretty crazy right now. Not quite at 2 o'clock, 90 seconds to go, but we are already starting to see some fireworks, but I would expect the fireworks to just pick up that much more pace. And look at that, all the way up, and now is this candle about to change from red to green? That would be a pretty crazy move in and of itself. But we are now approaching 70-second mark. Now I want to see, does this candle go red? Right, now we're red. Quite the move, huh? As I predicted, things were about to get crazy. And as of now, that candle in of itself is actually pretty crazy. But we are now less than 1 minute away. And now it's starting to head back up. But maybe I should keep it rolling here so you can just kind of see what's going on. But the whole point of this the video is not actually what happens. It's just the point of how I was able to show it to you and tell you almost to the exact time when things were about to start to get crazy. But I will for sure be back right as we turn to 2. Okay, I feel like New Year's. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm looking for things to get pretty nuts here. Let's see what happens. Whoa, there we're going up, up, up. Okay. Down, 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 down. Now from all the way up to all the way down. And now really starting to get nasty in red. Uh-oh, there it's starting to drop to the downside. And all this is happening right there at 2 o'clock. That big move up, then you saw it come all the way back down, and then as I speak, you're seeing it head all the way right back up. If that's not crazy movement, I don't know what is. So my question to you here is this. Would that be a pleasant environment to be in, to be part of? Right, you're in a trade, and then all of a sudden, things just start acting like that. I'm assuming you say, well, no, that would be super annoying because all of a sudden, the price just starts going literally up and down, up, back down. Now it's going back up. Quite literally, as you saw, the price is going all over the place. And I'll look at it right here. Now just going all the way back up. So from one point down here to all the way back up there, there is no doubt about it that, yeah, that would be a very annoying situation to be in. Because now, of course, I'm assuming you're trying to be a disciplined trader. You're trying to treat this as very seriously. You're not out here just acting like a degenerate gambler. So under the assumption that you are trying to be a disciplined, serious trader, then yeah, this sort of action right here is just flat out very, very difficult to deal with because that was completely up and down and all over the place. And that would make trading very difficult. But here's the key, is this was completely avoidable. How was it avoidable? Well, as I just proved to you, I told you when this was all going to happen. So if you know that this random, just crazy action is going to happen, you know when it's going to happen, and you know that, you know what, I don't want any part of that, because that's literally just gambling at that point. Because how are you supposed to trade that sort of action when it's literally all over the place before it happens, right? Now, sure, you could wait until it happens and then maybe try to trade it. But if you're just in a trade and then that happens, I mean, it could, now to be fair, it could work out in your favor, but it could really get nasty, or it could act like that and completely confuse you and have you spun all around. So, I mean, like I said, at the core, as you saw, that was very random action. And as traders, we don't want to be a part of random, nonsensical action. But with this random, nonsensical action, we know when it's going to happen. Not to the day, but you saw to the exact time. So if we know when it's going to happen, then it goes to reason that, well, we know we can avoid being part of that, or being, in trading jargon, chopped up by that sort of action. So how did I actually know this was going to happen at this exact time? Now, I'll keep the chart over on the side so you can just continue to see the action, how it plays out. But again, big swings all the way back up. Now it's all the way back down. But this is the search that you need to run. This is behind the curtain. How did I pull off that magic trick? How did I know that was all going to happen? Economic, well, you can see it right there. Economic calendar. That's what I want you to run a Google search for. Now, there's no right or wrong calendar to use. I mean, whatever, I guess, is visually appealing to your eye. But in this situation, we'll use the one from marketwatch.com. So right here, an economic calendar, all that's telling you, well, I guess right here, this week's major U.S. economic reports and federal speakers. So the way an economic calendar works is, and it's nothing complicated, you have the date, and then you have the different times, and then you have these various announcements that are being made. So the one that I just showed you about was this one right here, Wednesday, May 4th at 2 o'clock. And this is all Eastern time, 2 p.m., which was the Federal Reserve. And at this exact moment in history, whenever the Federal Reserve speaks, as you just saw, the markets listen and the markets can get very crazy. And that is exactly how I knew when that was going to happen. So as a trader, assuming, as I said, that you don't want to be part of randomness, you don't want to be in something when you know that the quote unquote something that you're in is about to just get random, start going all over the place, well then don't be in any sort of trades at 2 p.m. Eastern time on days like this, when you have these announcements, which you know ahead of time. So once again, and I can say that at 2:30 p.m., well, I mean, this action is going to stay crazy, but at 2:30 p.m., it has the potential to get crazy once again, because the federal chair is going to start having a news conference and start speaking. And then based on what he says is going to dictate what the actual markets and therefore what particular stocks may or may not do. But when you know all this ahead of time, thanks to, again, the tool, just an economic calendar, you're going to know, all right, let me just sit this one out. Or you're going to know, some people, they came back to their desks at 2 o'clock because they knew that the action would start to get volatile. But as far as a mistake that I've been, is you're in a trade, whoa, what happened? Things are getting crazy. Well, now in hindsight, when I know what I know, it's like, well, geez, Clay, you could have totally avoided being part of that crazy action had you been aware of the economic calendar. Now, this brings up a question, well, Clay, what announcements should I pay attention to? And the good news here is that a lot of announcements happen before the market evens open. So right here, you can see there was one at 8:15. There's one at 8:30 a.m. And again, I'm operating under Eastern time as this calendar is. But it does, well, what about that one? That one opened up after the markets, the ISM service index. And this is where you're just going to have to observe, generally speaking. Keep an eye on the headlines. At this point, when this video is being recorded, in economic history, inflation is really bad. So the Federal Reserve, which dictates monetary policy, carries a lot of weight. But who knows? Maybe at some point in the future, ISM service index is going to dictate a whole lot of what the markets are doing. So at that point, well then yes, 10 a.m. would be a very, very important time for you. But my point here is just observe, get familiar with the economic calendar, and pay attention. Okay, what's going to happen at 10 a.m.? And in this situation, nothing really happened. So it's just telling you, okay, apparently the market doesn't actually care that much about the ISM service index. But you can go here, and again, a lot of these, in fact, all of these are being done before the market even opens, as you can see right there. But point here being that's how you can always test it. You can always just sit out and observe, watch what happens. And if you're unsure, if you're scared, well, then just make sure you're not in any trades at that particular time, and then observe what happens. And you're going to start to get a feel for, what sort of announcements matter and what sort of announcements, I can't say never matter, because history is always changing, economics are always changing, so they might matter at some point in the future. But if you're unsure, just remove yourself from the markets for that particular time and then observe. Now, in the title, I did mention day trader, because if you're a swing trader, then this stuff may not matter as much. Now, it could, and I say that because I don't know the details of your swing trading strategy, but if you are a day trader, look at this, see? Look at this thing go. If you're a day trader, then this is, again, going back to technical or, trading jargon, this is a great way to get chopped up, down, up, real far down right here. So that's how you avoid. Be aware of or understand what the economic calendar is, use it, and then just simply avoid being in any trades at that point in time. So hopefully you stuck with me now. I didn't mean to make it seem clickbait or like that. I actually thought I had a magic trick. I've revealed all the secrets. That is how I was able to predict it. So kind of anticlimactic, right? Oh, wow. Clay, that was actually kind of cool. In fact, Clay, I thought you were lying. I thought that was like video editing that you were using. But no, all I was doing was paying attention to the economic calendar. So economic calendar, as day traders, you gotta, I'm not saying you have to memorize it, but just always be aware of it because, it can save you from and helping you avoid a common mistake where people are in positions and then they get chopped to pieces when in all actuality, it was completely avoidable. And if you've done that before, like I said, you're not alone. I did those same mistakes as a beginner day trader myself. So hopefully this helps. If you have any other sort of questions or ideas for videos like this, by all means, please leave those down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful, then hit that like button. That really goes a long way and not only providing me feedback, but also helping the channel out. And then on that note, check out the channel as a whole. A lot of good variety of videos. And at that point, after watching some other videos, I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel if you're like what you're seeing. So yes, learn to love the economic calendar. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.